Welcome. I presume the others were going to join us very shortly, so let's just get the charts up and running. Bear with me a moment. Right, I'm running. I'm ready. Okay. So let's start by looking at the indices and then work back. So we are trying to break out of this major resistance point. I think the markets have stepped up here, but we've got inflation tomorrow, and inflation is a major issue with markets. So if we only poke our head through here and then subsequently close underneath here, then that spells problems. We could be in for another pullback and potentially even a deeper pullback if this doesn't work. So markets are on the line here. In the meantime, let's have a look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is, again, bumping its head right up against a resistance point. But if all we end up doing is coming into this resistance, then again, that one, assuming we get that high and continue this wave higher, then if we start to hit that level of fail, then we are in deep trouble. Gold has had a great week. This is really stepping up. So inflation tomorrow, so we could potentially bump into 1860, and if we can stay up here, volumes are good. We're grinding high. It's taken a long time to get up here from the 28th of Jan. I say a long time, it's not too bad, is it? It's only the 9th of Feb now. Let's see if that can close higher. My main joy is the way in which the silver is picking up. I think this is really going to potentially run. I think this silver, we start closing above 23 and subsequently 25, I think that's going to break out. I think that's a really, really good accumulation pattern down there. And so I need to make sure I am in on silver. Oil, yeah, we're struggling up here. Invents were good, but we are highly priced. So if we start to fail, I'm still buying pullbacks at this stage. But if we can't get above here, we start closing under here, then we are done, short term done. Maybe inflation tomorrow can spike that up. Let's have a quick look at the European indices before we start looking at stocks. So this pullback on the 24th has really so far got this market going. So as long as we can keep going, we should be heading for this. I've been talking about 77.70 for a long time now, because that would only then take us into 2020 highs. We're not even at 2020 highs yet. So Europe has been a cheaper market, hence the reason why I'm talking about a lot of European stocks at the moment. Right, let's have a look at the Asian market. I think this is a really, really bullish move down here. I think this drop, I think this one can really get going. I'm long some Japanese funds and looking for that to really get to stretch its legs now. Let's take that one out. So let's see where that can go. I think that can at least go into 29.30. If we can punch higher, I think this could be through and through. So that would mean we've got all these touches here, got through there, but failed. I think if we come up here again, I think we can punch through and ultimately come up. But yeah, that's only a prediction. We've got a long way to go. We've got to get through all this resistance and keep going. So if we turn around here or here and fail, then this could come right out again. But a decent amount of support. So if this is a nice double bottom, this is the neckline. We just need to punch through it. Right, let's go straight into stocks. Let's look at the banks first. Lloyd's sitting up on support, looking higher. At 50 has got bought. In theory, we should go 57 plus. And Barclays. Same pattern. We look as if we can go to 225 as long as we keep closing higher here. And let's now look at some. Oh, what's the other bank? The other financial. Hang on 1 second, bear with me. Staying on the theme of financials, this is AJ Bell. I want to update this. I've been stalking this one for ages and it's just not doing it. Not a particularly impressive stock chart. Let me just prep this because I've forgotten to do it. No, I've done that wrong. Good. Okay, so volume's beginning to pick up here. So this is what's got me interested, because I think if that can subsequently hold that and close above 340, I think this one can recover. HSBA, okay, yeah, good point. Oh wow, this is, yeah, that's way ahead of the game, isn't it? That's incredible. So that's 360. We've gone from 360 to 560. So next stop 570. Again, I'm going to update this chart. This chart's a bit out of date as well. But a big sell on the 26th, and they just picked it up and ran with it. We are really extended, extended to the point where I will need to redraw this. That was a great ambush trade back there in September. So we got a 3-wave corrective wave. But yeah, I bet Stan's done really well. That tool has done it again. So three corrective wave down to that 362, 360, 362, and then we've been running up. I have to do this manually. Three wave. You could argue we're even still in that third wave as we head up to that 570. 570 is going to be a problem for that. Stan, yeah, I'm sure that is going to be the same. Yeah. Now that has actually potentially put in a reversal signal there. Certainly seen a lot of profit taking, put it that way. If that comes back to 530, that might, well, that's a potentially good place to buy, Stan. If we can come back to that 530. Are you in these, Andy? Only HSBA. Okay, only. You've done well. Brilliant. So you're not in Barclays or Lloyd's. Okay. Let's look at commodity related stuff. So let's look at some miners. PAF at long last beginning to get going, hitting the major crucial point there at 20, but the volume is really good. So any pullback, well, at the moment, any pullback to 19, you're in Lloyd's and NatWest, right? Silver, copper, yeah. Silver, I love silver, yeah. I meant to look at silver, so I'll look at silver now. I looked at gold. Did I not look at silver? I did look at silver, didn't I? Yeah, anyway, any pullback to 22 and a half, I'm not sure you see 22 and a half, I think I can bust up. Copper, yeah, I'm sure copper is doing great. I'm in oil at the moment. It's invents day, so I have bought a deeper pullback on that. Right, back to my list. Polymetal. All right, we're beginning to recover on volume now. So if we can get above this 11 and subsequently close above 12, that should recover. And Rio, it's all the pullbacks in Rio are still climbing. It's only slightly above where I got out. So if we can break this high, we've got that 60, 62 up there, which at the moment looks feasible. Let's look at oil stocks now. BP, it's still potentially viable. If you can get 395, that looks as if that can go to 458 now, if that bull flag breaks out. So if you want to get in that, try and buy 395, £4, but get your stop quite close, seeing as we are so high. Penny one, 88E. You are doing really well, Andy. Well done. Next stop 3, and we could, if we get some volume follow through, which looks likely at the moment, that could go higher. Sylvanian Platinum, buy signal. 92 is the entry in that one. This Man Group, these are commodity brokers. We've seen 242 in this. I like these guys. I've missed this pullback. Obviously, I forgot to set an alarm, but that 188 was a good pullback. You never know. I'll try and wait for a 195 on that. And let me set the alarm now before I forget. Hello. I think this is building again. I think Tullo's building again. That 49's got bought. So I think Tullo is good. My year-end target would be 75 and potentially 92 if we can break hard. I mean, here we went from 22 to 65. So if I copy that, so that will put us at 85 if we get the same range. And a little bit more will take us into that extension. So I think Tullo is good. That's enough of commodities. Let's look at retail. Boo. Really a decent volume spike down here. So that, on volume alone, I would have thought that stands a chance of punching higher now. If we start closing above the this mark here, 110, 112, then I think we can start clawing our way back. So it's a reversal. It looks as if it's thrown in a reversal here on the Boo, and ASOS, seen on the screen, is equally coming up, not spiking up on volume, but the volume is getting healthier, definitely getting healthier. If we look at next, that's on a major support. That's a complete gap fill into July. So the next is a buy as well. That's a huge level of support on next. If that bull flag works out, we could go and see 85. Close back underneath here, and then that's potentially out. Card. I took a decent move out on the short side on this. You know what? I dislike these stores so much. I think they're so poor. I'm happy to stay short. I've got. I'm almost back. I'm slightly underwater. No, I'm about. This is about my entry point. But I'm still thinking this could fall back and fall out of this, because we're still in this 13th of Jan range. So all the time we stay in that 13th of Jan range, I think this could fall back. But I admit that's a decent bounce, and it may not work. Let's look at techs. Start off with SSE, Seeing Machines. This is now, I'm really liking that higher close. It's tentative. This was a gap, with a gap up in the 30th of July last year. So the volume is picking up here. So we start closing above 9. I think SSE can do that. I'm really very interested in that at the moment. IQE, chip maker in Wales. If we can sustain this, there is a chance this could pick up as well. We're above that breakout level now. So as long as we can stay above 35, we could start to claw our way back to 50 on that one. What else have I got on this front? Let's look at BT. Telecoms are just on fire. I'm still holding out in BT. Bought this back in 135. Vodafone's even further up. Vodafone's even got a better breakout at the moment. This is being recorded, so for some reason I've got a very low attendance rate tonight, but maybe because everybody knows I record it, I'm not sure. And let's look at this dark. Really, it's a bit pathetic down here. Mind you, IQE is not brilliant. I'd started to trade this and then just fell out of favour with it because it didn't do what I wanted it to, particularly after this rejection of 430. Volumes beginning to pick up. I'm not convinced, but certainly is trying. But if we knock into that 430 and fail, I think that could roll over. I'm not trading it anymore. I'm backing off. Next, I meant to talk about Royal Mail on the retail front, because this is again perking up, threatening to come back to those highs. So Royal Mail at the moment is a potential pullback at 440. I don't think it's going to pull back further, but you never know. It could well do. Anything you want me to look at, let me know. Let's look at some of these big healthcares. AstraZeneca is threatening to pull up again. That's we had a very decent push up here on the 27th, and for some reason it's come right back on itself. Volumes are beginning to pick up. It's a potential reversal pattern, new low, immediate close higher in this very short trend. Have I got that right? Let me see if I've matched this up. I suppose it's come a long way, isn't it? From 66 to 84, quite a long way. But I think that is looking good. PFE, just switching a bit to the US. I bought PFE at these lows yesterday, 3-touch support. So I'm looking for PFE needs to start, Pfizer needs to start building up here. If we get above 55, I think this could really run. That's an incredible, is that a bull flag? We won't know until that closes above 54, 55. But I bought the lows, because if we that'll create a squeeze. If we get above 55, I think we can see 69 plus, potentially finish the year on 80. But is that a big ask? I don't know. I'm planning for it to go, and let's just see if it can. Let's see if that works out. Next one. BMI, again, staying on the American theme. I absolutely love this stock. I've been in and out of this for a long time now, this one. It's been on a bit of a tear, 52 to 67. I still think this is worth, as we break out here, I still think it's worth trying to buy a pullback on this. It may well want to come back into 64. If it does, I would add to that one. Yeah, this one. This is we had an announcement about fusion technology today, and this is a hydrogen. If I'm right, I need to do a bit more research. This is a hydrogen developer, and that so it's fallen out of the channel and had a huge volume. So what I plan to do is I plan to buy a pullback to 565.70 with a stop underneath these lows, and I'm going to see if that can power back into this back up into this £10 mark. CF Industries, okay. This is a US one, okay. Is this another fusion one? Is that why you called me up on this one? Well, if we sustain this and break 76, yeah, looks higher. You in this, or just studying it? We're bumping up against 2021 highs. If this can go, it's potentially got 85 and 100 on this. If this can go, it's come a long way. I'm always very nervous about stuff that's come so far. Particularly in this environment, I just found that, particularly on US stocks, if they're very highly rated, the US doesn't seem to spit them out recently. Right, let's just look at a couple of US stocks and then I'm off, unless you've got anything else you want me to look at. Let me go to, actually I've got a lot of US stocks to look at. I've not put them on this. I'll try to update this list quickly. Right, let me just go through them. We've got Roku. Really liking Roku. I'm in this one. I think Roku's got, if we can get back above this 174, I think that can really rock. We had a decent breakout from this area in August 2020. So I think we could potentially, we've got a gap fill. Let me mark this gap up there at that level. So that's my target on the Roku. And these other ones, I'm in path. I'm liking the way the volume is creeping up and we're coming off the support on path. Um, 47 is a decent resistance point. That's the 2021 low, I think. But that's not a bad, you know, from 34 to 47. Nice move. I'll take it if I can get it. And Teledoc. Well, they're all beginning to. Teledoc is potentially putting in a reversal pattern today. Facebook. Let's look at Facebook. I did decide to give this more room in the end. So I am in this. That could potentially end up with a very handsome reversal signal. New low, close above next day. So if at some time soon we get above this 24.25, I think that could start to climb back. Amazon is broken out of, well, no, it's getting close to its earnings high. I still think that could come all the way back to that 300 mark. Let's have a look at Zoom. I've got so many. I'm not going to look at all the ones I've got listed because I don't think it's worth it anyway. Yeah, I think it's a good brand. I think Zoom is well worth a trade here. I think Zoom could at least recover into the 20 mark from this 14.15. Who knows, maybe a lot more. So I am liking Zoom. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'd look at one more, unless you want to look at anything else. I'm going to look at Western Digital. This came up on a scan. Yeah, this came up on a scan yesterday. I think that's a handsome chart. That's a really handsome chart. So to break underneath there and close back inside there, I'm liking it. I'm really liking that. Like to see some more volume, but I'm encouraged by that. Right, brilliant. Thanks a lot for your time. There's no more questions coming in, so I'm going to leave it there. Thanks a lot, and see you on Sunday. Big review on Sunday. Anybody wants any further advice, mentoring, let me know. All right, many thanks. Cheers. Have a good